budget cooking used to be simple, but a few years ago, I noticed something was off. Some of my favorite budget foods, turns out like they're not even real food. It's ridiculous. And so I've been realizing something has to change. Over the past couple of years, I feel like everything has kind of gotten flipped on its head, and today I'm breaking it all down. Sticking with the times, I want to make budget cooking healthy again, because I really do believe that you can eat well without breaking the bank. And so this is going to be different than it used to be. If you've been with me for a while, I started my channel in 2020 and I started doing extreme grocery budget challenges. And that's basically where I bought the cheapest food that I possibly could to feed my family, give them calories, give them food for the week, and make what I felt were pretty amazing meals. And I feel really good about doing that during that time. And I still feel really good about people that are doing that today, because everybody needs an opportunity to eat. Everybody deserves to eat well. In 2021, I got pregnant with my third son, Ben. He's 3 now. And I read a book called Real Food for Pregnancy that really opened my eyes to nutrients and everything that was in our food. And I really started to look at my own personal diet quite a bit differently. But honestly, this was super overwhelming for me, and I very quickly went back to my old habits because I felt like everything I was looking at was like cancer causing and terrible and this and that, and I really wasn't ready to see it, and I really wasn't ready to make those changes in our own household and family. I could start buying a few healthy things, and I'd be like, that's super expensive, that's hard, that's this, and kind of quit on it, right? And so I just wanted to put it out of my mind because I felt like it was stressing me out. But because that information was in my head, and especially as the times have been changing and more of that information has been shared on the news and social media, it just kept showing up to me, and I kept making kind of small swaps and small changes. And then you'll notice in some of my videos, like I'll have organic, I won't have organic, I'll have some different healthier snacks, and I'll go back to snacks with seed oils. It's been a difficult journey, and maybe you feel like you've been on the same, right? It's not a simple swap. It's not something you can do overnight, or can you? But I wasn't able to. In 2024, I launched my Smart Spend Bootcamp with the idea that really, as long as you follow this, you can absolutely eat well for less, no matter what your budget is and no matter what your lifestyle is. And this is true. But in 2025, or late 2024 and 2025, when I really put all my eggs in, I decided we are going to go at our house, right? Seed oil free. We're gonna do no dyes. So we're gonna only use natural plant food dyes. I'm gonna try and eat mostly organic meats and vegetables based on the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen. And I'm gonna try as much as I can to avoid added sugar in our food. So sweet treats, obviously for special occasions, totally fine, but really just those hidden sugars inside of kids' snacks. So when I tried to do this, I found that there were some surprising things that happened. And I got really frustrated, honestly. So my whole premise has always been like, buy the store brand. But when there's only 2 or 3 brands of avocado oil chips, you don't have a lot of options, right? Same thing with like sourdough breads. That's what I wanted to switch to, because many of our breads are really highly processed. So there was many things that I tried to do, and mostly those 4 things that I mentioned earlier for our family, because I just think that's best for us, right? Everybody's going to be different. I get it. Like you can eat whatever you want. I'm not a preacher. I'm just trying to share kind of what I've learned and where I'm at, and hopefully help others who are kind of on that same journey, because I really feel like it's a poignant thing right now. And I've also feel like I've been having trouble being genuine on my channel as Meals with Maria, as showing budget friendly meals, when some of the prices and things have gone up, and I've also changed the way I do things, right? If you saw my Reuben sliders in my last video, those are delicious. I made my own homemade rolls, because slider buns that you're gonna get at the store, the Hawaiian buns, are not great. And they have a bunch of stuff in them that I don't wanna bring into my household. I'm not saying we're not gonna eat it at a restaurant like it's gonna happen. I'm not perfect, it's realistic. We're having to have realistic living. But I wanna have something delicious. I'm gonna have to make my own bread. That's just one of the things that I've learned through this journey. So yeah, I got really frustrated because I'm like, oh, this stuff is so expensive. It's killing my budget. I'm not able to do it. And over the last couple months, I've really, I went through it quickly, so I'm grateful for that, but I really honed in on areas where I can save money. And I still do all the same tactics that I've always taught, shopping your pantry and eating something vegetarian and eating 3 meals that are seasonal. Like all these things still work. But there's other things that I've learned I have to do on top of that, right? I have to make my own bread. We like almond milk for our coffee. I have to make my own almond milk. And there's a bunch of other things that have kind of changed with this too, in order to eliminate those seed oils, those added products, those emulsifiers. Basically anything hot topic that you've heard in the news, we're doing it. We're trying to do it because that's, for me, I feel like it's important for our family, and that's the life that I want to live. But I am super excited to share that I'm out on the other side, right? So now I understand how to budget cook that type of lifestyle. I've also learned to deal with misleading foods. So even during these last few years, I would get things like I'm not saying all Kodiak cake things are bad, but there's some things that if you read like the ingredients on the package, Kodiak cakes, those are healthy, right? Well, not always. Those are not always your healthier alternative. So there's definitely certain products that are marketed as healthy, and I bring them home and be like, oh, that still has a seed oil. That still has added sugar. What is that additive? Like, I don't like it. So we're learning to make a lot of things at home and finding out what works for our family. And that's been a struggle too, because at first the kids were like, where's my snacks? I want to eat my Yoplait yogurts with 17 grams of sugar. 17 grams of sugar in a Yoplait yogurt. The recommended daily value for anyone over 2 is 25 grams of added sugar a day. That means you can eat 1 Yoplait yogurt. And if you have 2, you're over your sugar. So if you have anything outside of that, that's too much. That's wild. So it's like, within moderation, but my kids aren't eating 1 Yoplait yogurt. They're like having 6 because they're kids and they just go and have snacks. That's how they live their lives. So I have to make sure I have snacks available for them, and I've come up with alternatives and things that they are finally loving. Finally being the important word, because it took some time. So I went through all of my stages of grief and I've come out on the other side. We like our food. We are eating budget friendly. We're still following my strategy for eating well for less. And I've even been able to create a game-changing tool that is helping me and others in this process. So I was putting on a meal plan before. Well, now I have a meal planning app that is much less expensive. It's super easy because you can grab the meals and put them in your own weekly meal plan. You can print that out. You even have a grocery list that's automatically connected to the meal plan, and you can click it into Instacart so you can order from the comfort of your own home. Like, this is so easy, and it's so much cheaper than it was before. I'm offering this for $1.98 a month and a $19.99 for the entire year. It's such a deal. This is where you're gonna find all my recipes from now on. So what you can expect from me in the future as I've kind of changed this lifestyle, maybe you're going through this too, and I encourage you, if you haven't been here before, to subscribe and join me on this journey, because I'm gonna be providing a budget-friendly, family-friendly recipes, as I always have. I'm gonna keep up with that. We're even gonna roll that into the holidays and share some foods like that. There are gonna be times when I'm gonna share things that aren't like perfect, right? I'm not perfect. What you're gonna get is realistic recipes. I do have some old favorites that, you know what, they're not great. We're not gonna eat them all the time, but on Thanksgiving, I'm gonna be making corn casserole because it's delicious. I love it. So we have to live our lives. We have to be realistic, but for the most part, I'm gonna change things up and try and live that healthier lifestyle. And I'm gonna bring you along with me. I'm gonna share all of those recipes inside of my app. So you're gonna get all the information that you need in order to also follow along and change maybe some of your habits as well. Or maybe you're already in the process and you're like, this is exactly what I needed. I'm hoping that's kind of where I meet some people, as this is a very, it's a big point of interest, at least within my friend group. So I'm hoping that maybe I can just, it feels vulnerable to share, honestly, like food journeys, like this matters, but we're gonna still eat budget friendly. I'm still gonna show you how I do everything realistically for my family. Truth be told, my mom's gonna bring over some Cape Cod chips and some Ritz crackers. I'm not gonna eat them, okay? It's fine. We're gonna be okay. We will live. We've lived all this time. We'll continue to live. On Tuesday, I'm going to be sharing 10 things that I'm not buying anymore and what I'm making instead. This is going to be a great video. It's going to be the first in a series where I'm really getting down and dirty on all the things that I have learned how to do and how I make that work for my family. So make sure to hit that notification bell so you do not miss it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And then make sure to sign up for my app down in the description box, because that is going to be where you can get all of the recipes. It's going to be amazing as time goes on. And you can even plan your meals in there. I love it. I'm obsessed. I love it. And I know you will too. So let's make budget cooking healthy again together.